Hey guys, my name is Demortis. I'm part of EVE Online. I've been there about 8 years, and I came across this video and I thought, you know, it's a good video. We're gonna watch it go all the way through, and then I'm just gonna bounce through it because some things are reality and some things are not reality when playing EVE Online, and things like this are a good example of that. Now, typically this is what I would like to see in EVE, but the reality is a little something else, and we'll get to that in a minute. This is my first video, so there's going to be a lot of cursor movements and stuff like that, but I'll try my best to just get through it. Here it is.
In chaos theory, there's a concept known as sensitive dependence on initial conditions. Most people call it the butterfly effect. In EVE, we call it the sandbox. Let's say this is you. One lone wolf flying a starship in the far reaches of space. And in your travels, you encounter this. A defenseless mining barge under attack by pirates. You have a split second to make a choice. Without your help, the miner doesn't stand a chance. You decide to be the hero and succeed in driving the raiders away. The victim is thankful, and in the conversation that follows, a friendly gang that was on its way to help finally arrives. Grateful for your assistance, they invite you to fly with them. As it turns out, that gang was on its way to regroup with more patrols, who are all members of the same corporation, which happens to be part of an alliance of corporations that is currently at war with another alliance, whose patrols have just spotted the one you're flying with right now. Your decision to help that miner led to this moment. An epic battle between thousands of players, and the chance to share that experience with new friends that you might have for the rest of your life. Hundreds of thousands of people could hear about this battle. Why so many? Because it all happened in one universe, not in separate realms, just one big sandbox, where the actions of one person can resonate throughout the entire game world. In EVE, the choices you make shape the outcome of events. You could have helped those pirates, or just flown on by. What matters most is that the experience was emergent, unscripted, because in the sandbox, all player actions, no matter how subtle or bold, always have an impact. Imagine what you could become a part of. Being in the right place, at the right time, could touch the lives of more than 300,000 people in 230 countries around the world. Welcome to EVE Online. The universe is yours.
Alright, now, for me, I get it, right? Like, it's a promotional video. They're trying to get out the word of how it's supposed to be. But I'm just going to do it in pause effect. So, let's say you're this guy, right? And you come across this miner here somewhere, and he's mining, right? And there's a dude attacking this miner. 99.9% of the time, they're going to take out the miner. The guy's going to show up, he's going to help the other pirate, they're going to kill that, and then they're going to fight each other, or want to warp away. Or, the other 0.1% of the time, there's a guy who comes in a system, sees there's two guys, one's flashing, he continues on, he doesn't even stop. Reason being is this guy who's killing the miner, he is either roaming, or he's trying to defend his space, or he's trying to, do whatever, and you will never be able to make contact with that guy. If you try to make contact with that guy, he calls 10 other guys, and they all show up, and they kill you and the miner. So, the miner, if this is his space and he's out in Sov or Null or wherever the hell he is, he shouldn't be mining and getting attacked by a pirate. He should be docking up right away, which happens all the time. If a pirate does catch him and he's stuck there, he ain't shooting no rock. He's freaking out in local, he's calling his buddies, he's not mining anymore. This is a scenario. Then up here, it says, well, you know, he showed up in time, and he helped, and blah blah blah, and he's got all these buddies. They come roaming up, right? They're like, hey, who's this one guy we don't know? Oh no, and they pop him. They ain't taking him with them. They're not moving him along and helping him out. This is the problem in Eve, is these coalitions, this whole picture that they got going on, where it's all these guys roaming around. These guys are roaming their space. They're not roaming anybody else's space. They're looking to defend their shit. And if they're out, like, roaming and doing something and trying to find people to hurt, they're not, like, 3 different batches of guys and moving around and everything. No, that it's like when you go to Null, most of Null that I've been in over 8 years, they've got like the Bible of rule books. And in the rule book, you can't do this and you can't do that. But if you decide to do it like this, then you need 8 other guys, and then you need this, and then you need that. And if you're mining in a system, then you have to have 20 bubbles up on each gate, and make sure that nobody can come in. Then you got to have 1 in the asteroid belt that you're working in. You got to have 1 at the it's environmental tactics that control you as a player. It's not open like this. It's never been open like that. It's like they showed you a map of 2 groups that were fighting. It's back here somewhere. This group and that group were actually... Oh, there we go. This map, it kind of works for what I want to explain, but there's the blue part. It says Great Wildlands. That is NPC. You can't claim that, but you can live in there. Then you've got all the other places below. That's a pretty large group, which in recent days have basically broken apart and becomes several smaller groups. If these guys were to take the guys to the north, let's say Etherm's Reach, the Spire, all those guys, and they're fighting each other as a coalition, at best you get like 15 guys from the lower part roaming up into the red space, and when they get knocked down to about 5 ships left, they all retreat. The people in the red space are all renters. So it's not like it's a giant coalition of Titan ships. No, every 10th system there's 1 renter. And they have a general chat that they can go and post stuff in. But it's not like the people that own the space are going to show up to help you out. No, it's going to be the renter that lives 3 jumps away from you. Him and 18 of his guys are going to show up. And it turns into this mini wars and mini groups doing things. It's not the coalition. The coalition, when they gather up and they say, oh yeah, okay, we're going to go and take, let's say, Cash, which is not claimed in this, but you can't claim Great Wildlands, so whatever. They'll go in with Titans, and they'll clear out, let's say, 5 systems, or reinforce 5 systems. Then they'll come back the next day, and they'll do it again. And then they'll come the next day, and they'll do it again. Once they claim those 5, then they move on to the next 5. They get a renter for the first 5. They never come back there. They go to the next 5 and the next 5. So they're constantly moving in an outward direction until they lose enough capital ships or Titans or high-level ships to move on. And it's not a politically driven system. It's they call it meat flogger. You go in, you mash everything up, then when they give up, you move your guys in there and your sovereignty stuff, and then you rent it out to somebody, and you move on. there is no political part of that. You own it. There is no democracy or figuring something out or trying to bring people in from high sec. It's your friends, your buddy, who can you get a a good reprar from another company that's already renting from you. There's no let's bring in somebody new and let's give them the opportunity to grow to where we are. No, we're going to bring them in, charge them the most, and then only let them get to where we feel they should be. It's. Hold on, my son. Yeah, that's an H. Anyway, I've tried to get in with the northern group, the southern group, the whole eastern side of this map. And if you go into these groups and you are financially stable, can work by yourself, and not interrupt their daily happiness on their kill boards, they'll let you in, but you will never get to the point where you want to be at. If you try to get to that point and they see that you're, bringing in large quantities of goods for sale, or you are creating large numbers that outdo their numbers in a market, they'll just ban you and all your shit's trapped out there. So you either have to, sacrifice it or safety it, is what they call it, into a station where you think you can go and get it later on. But there's no solid foundation for what I've seen is like a social enterprise. There's a lot of individual enterprises, but there's not like a grand scheme to what has gone on. It's kind of hard to explain, but for me, I'm looking for like that whole red space to be one solid entity of people that know what the game plan is, and you won't get that. Or to the south, either a game plan to keep their stuff or to move within their area and absorb other people from around them or people from high sec and actually do what they say they're going to do. So a lot of these groups will say, "Oh yeah, we'll protect your shit. You're an indie. Oh, you're just a new PvPer. We'll train you up." They don't. They throw fits at you like how to fit your ship, but they don't actually do anything with you because you are supposed to be independent within their coalition or within their group. And it's cool, but it doesn't work. I actually was just with a recent group of people up near the Caval Expanse. Wonderful guys, good group of guys. They like to totally be a part of themselves and, interlocking times and ways of playing together. But as a new person that joined them, I said, look, as an industrialist, I've got the cash, I can do it, not a big deal, but my PvP is at 0, so you've got to train me. And basically what I got is, here's a ship fit, get into it, fly with us, you'll figure it out. After about 10, 15 losses and close to $1 billion, I hadn't learned anything from them. They had gotten very upset with my losses, but they did not show me how to correct that or how to better my chances of survival. Just another group. So you got the Great Wildlands area. So you can't own it, but you can move into it. And in that space, I had gotten good results with my manufacturing, industrial, and marketing. And when a group had moved in with Titans, Capitals, Supers, Carriers, that kind of stuff, their idea of half of my bank account for their defense would be a fair agreement. I said no to that and was willing to either put in a carrier or something into one of their fleets to better learn how to live in the area. I was told that the only value to them was the kill board, and then they took a Fortizar and a few other citadels that I had, which is not a big deal. As a marketeer and a manufacturer indie, if your income, like if your losses are less than 10% of your income, then you shouldn't worry about what you're doing. You're doing something right. If you're making a 90% profit and only losing 10% to the people that don't want to negotiate, then you're still making a huge profit, and you can let that go. You can move on. I've been to a few other places over my 8 years around the nullsec regions of space, and it seems like all those places have about the same mandate. It's either you follow our way, we kick you out if you don't. If you don't fight, we kick you out. If you don't want to fight and you want to be an industrialist, you have to run. We are not coming to defend you. We are not coming to, help you out or train you. If you want to live out here and your kill boards are in the negative all the time, we will ban you. But if you go and hide, for 4 or 5, 6, 7 days straight, while these people camp you out, you can stay. Which is kind of not the way things should be running, but that's the experiences I've had. And I thought that this video, even only it being 2 minutes, and now it's up to 17, that just by you guys listening, anybody that does listen or is in the game would realize that there's a lot more to it than just being submissive. If you want to be your own leader, you have to take things into your own hands. Like myself, I've got all my own blueprints. I've got multiple citadels all over Empire, all over Null, NPC Null, because then my name doesn't get put out there. And you have the chance to be more independent. Make your own choices, not people making choices for you. Because as soon as you get told what to do on a daily basis, you just stop playing. And you don't make the income. You're putting money in for Plex. Plex gets you ISK. You are buying ships and more ships and refits, and you're losing and losing and losing. No one's there to train you unless one or two individuals, which is just a few people out of the entire game, turn around and say, this is how you should do this. This is when you should be out doing this. This is how you attack this. This is how you figure out this. Those people are far and few between, but like myself, I teach indie. I teach planetary. I teach how to build a capital ship. I teach how to make ISK in the game without losing money in the game, because a lot of people are losing money in the game every day. And for me, I've spent most of my time doing that and not following the PvP side of things. And now that I am at the point where my level of income dictates I should have a pretty good PvP background, I'm trying to learn, trying to find those few people that are willing to teach and bring what I bring to the table into what they are doing. And it's really hard. Once you get to this point of 70, 80, 90 million skill points and your income is, 5, 6 billion a month, that's above what your capital contribution is, what you need to flip. For instance, 40 billion will make you roughly 45 billion. It's bad math, I know, but it's just to say that, on that 5 billion a month, you should be able to, fit PvP ships, collect your territory, stay within it, defend it, and grow. And Without any PvP background, it's not going to happen. So I hope this video has kind of explained some stuff. I know it's really long. I'm probably going to have to go through and cut a bunch out, but I'll make more as I see fit. Have a good one.